Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you today?
Good.
Oh, great. You look great.
Oh, well, thank you, Catherine.
Ready for a presentation.
I hope so. I hope so. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to day 2 of our second annual local partner meeting. I'm Callie Roff-Swang from USAID Washington, Office of HIV/AIDS, and I lead our local partner work out of Washington. We are so happy to have you all joining and happy to have you back for day 2. I am going to turn it over this morning to Suzanne because we have a quick interactive Menti poll we wanted to do. And then I'm going to go through a couple of announcements before we get started. Suzanne, over to you.
Good morning, good afternoon. Can you hear me, Callie?
I can hear you, yep.
Okay, excellent. Good morning, delegates, good afternoon. Welcome back to the second day of our second annual USAID Office of HIV/AIDS Local Partner Transition Meeting. Those of you who would like to participate in giving us some feedback about yesterday's meeting, we invite you to log into our Icebreaker Day 2 Menti poll. If you check at the top of the screen, you will see the code for the Menti poll, which is 5086089. Let me repeat again, the code is 5086089. And if you participated yesterday, thank you very much. We had 178 voices contributing to yesterday's icebreaker in the morning, and we would value to hear more about your experience of yesterday's meeting and also your excitement about the topics today. So I think what I'll do is, Callie, may I just leave the poll open, and then if you would like to do some updates, unless you need to show the screen, just to give them a minute more to log in. Would you like to share?
Sure. Okay, that is fine. I had some slides as well. But let's leave it open for a little bit, and then we can shift over. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the agenda today. So today we have, I think we have 10 different panels on different topics, both operational and technical. So we typically have three panels at a time, and we have a short break in between our concurrent session 1 and concurrent session 2. And then if you rejoin us at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, 4:30 South African time, we will do a day 2 wrap up. And as a reminder, the Zoom sessions really start and end on time. So we really ask people to respect the time within the Zoom session. We won't be able to go over. I wanted to share a few highlights from yesterday. So Suzanne, is it okay if I share? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, no, I'll stop sharing. We can show the results when you finish with your presentation.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah, let me just go ahead and share my screen. So we had 3 concurrent sessions yesterday. We had 3 concurrent sessions yesterday. One on testing. I just wanted to share with you our top takeaways from that session. So the first one, index testing is a process that requires long-term engagement, follow-up, and collaboration to achieve the 5 C's: consent, confidentiality, counseling, correct, and connections and linkage. Getting beyond the primary partners of index testing is challenging and requires close coordination with mentorship and support of facilities and key partners. And lastly, connecting facilities and community partners is critical to achieving impactful results. From our operational and strategic info session, Using real-time data can be an effective approach for capturing site-level data during COVID and without interrupting performance. Intensive M&E supports health facilities with data verification, mentorship and coaching on property documentation helps improve results. And lastly, innovations in technology must be coupled with implementation strategies in order for them to be effective. And lastly, our takeaways from our OVC GBV session. The impact of GBV and VAC on HIV clinical outcomes, especially during COVID. It's critical to ensure services are accessible to survivors. Some of these services include hotlines and helplines. It's important to make sure responders are well trained. Prevention packages offered to children through the OVC program strengthen relationships between children and caregivers. Prevention packages also reduce the risk behavior for HIV acquisitions, and they help partners respond, identify to gender-based violence in the community. And local partners, in order to do this work, should always be maintaining close relationships with clinical partners through MOUs, dedicated staff to improve OVC programs and to support children and adolescents living with HIV. So these are some of our takeaways. We're hoping to do this with all of the sessions today. So I am encouraging everyone participating in this session to help your moderators, help the panelists come up with the top 3 takeaways from your session, and we'll share them in our day 2 wrap-up. And our takeaways from the executive town hall, we hosted that separately yesterday on a separate Zoom call. We received many excellent questions. And what we heard from our local partner executives is that they really want more regular engagement between executive directors and USAID, and we support that as well. COP21 guidance is available for public comment, and local partners will be available in November. Local partners are strongly encouraged to provide feedback. Communication flow between local partners, AORs, and AOs is essential, especially during COVID. And also we strongly encourage everyone to utilize the ASAP webinar series, which is an excellent resource for continued learning. Okay, we had a couple of highlights to go over today, just to help folks resolve a couple of technical issues that came up yesterday. So one is when you are logging into any session, we recommend you actually use the Zoom app instead of having the embedded Zoom within the screen. And I think that will probably solve the echo issue that several people were experiencing. Secondly, one of our objectives for this meeting, it's a virtual meeting, but we still wanted to provide an opportunity for folks to meet each other and connect. And there is a function in the on-air platform to connect with delegates and to see posters and other topics sponsored by USAID, and to chat with other delegates. So it's here. If you go back to your on-air portal, you can see here on the right-hand side, there's a little icon. It says connect with delegates. So what we would like you to do now, and Suzanne, I hope you don't mind if we also ask people to do this. What we'd like you to do now is actually go to your on-air portal and click that little connect with delegates sign, and then find someone that you want to connect with. You'll see when you come into the system a list of all the people who are here. It doesn't mean that they're on this Zoom right now. It just means that they have registered and they're in the on air. system, and you can select them and send them an invitation or a note to connect. So we encourage you to go find someone you don't know and send a note right now. Let me see, Suzanne or anyone from FPD, are there any other technical issues or things you want to add to what I've just covered?
No, I think thank you for highlighting again the reminder if people are watching on the mini, very small Zoom screen to relaunch the Zoom application, and highlighting to the delegates and encouraging people to explore. I think my one suggestion, Callie, is we just give them a time limit for when they should come back in here so we can wrap up for the breakaways, or if you would like me to show the feedback from the first icebreaker. Unfortunately, we only have 20 voices so far contributing.
Yeah, okay, do we want to pull up the screen one more time? Okay.
Okay.
Actually, I think I have one more slide, and then let me pull it up for you. So lastly, participating in the panels today, we really want these panels to be interactive. We want everyone to help us come up with those 3 really great high-level takeaways that can be shared in the plenary session. So a couple kind of rules of the road. Panelists, please turn on your videos when you are speaking. Participants, at the start of each session, we encourage you to type your name and your organization in the chat box just to announce that who's in the session. Participants, please ask your questions, and you can ask them at any time, to all panelists and attendees in the chat box. The Zoom default setting is all panelists, which means the other participants cannot see your question. So if you change it to all panelists and attendees, then everyone can see the questions as they come in. Moderators, please keep people on time so we can allow for a vibrant discussion. And everyone, again, please help us with those 3 takeaways to share at day 2. And Suzanne, I feel like I can't quite see everything, but I think there were 1 or 2 raised hands. I don't know if others can see that.
Yeah.
Let me.
I saw people's hands raised, but then they went down. Maybe they were testing the functionality.
Okay, if you have questions, you can please write them here in the chat box. We are happy to answer them. And I'll turn it back over to you, Suzanne, for the Menti poll.
Okay, so we'll just give you feedback. The poll will remain open, so we value your voice. Reminder, if you would like to participate, you must log in to www.menti.com and use the code 5086089. And so far, it looks like it was mostly positive. There was some concern that it was a bit of a confusing format. And as we expected, some concerns about internet. In terms of today's session, looks like 4.2 out of 5. So it seems like we've got a very excited crowd. I know that Callie was asking people to go and try out the Connect with Delegates function. So from this side, I'm open, Callie, and hand back to you.
Okay, thanks, Suzanne. Do you mind if I just share my screen for the last minute? Okay. All right. Okay, oops, how do I go back? Oh, shoot. Okay, I just wanted to show people the agenda again. So I don't think I put this up. These are our panels today, starting in just 2 minutes, and we will get off here so people can get into their sessions. We have 3 panels on sub-award management, reducing risk and whistleblowers, viral load suppression, starting at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, 2:30 South African time. We'll have 3 additional panels on MMD, services for DREAMS participants, and optimize HRH staffing. And then at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 South African time, 4 more panels, treatment innovations and adaptations during COVID, preparing your governance and board structure for your organizations, and some success stories from working with key populations during COVID. So I think we have some excellent sessions prepared. We thank those of you who have been working to put these together, and we hope you enjoy these panels this morning, and we will look forward to seeing you back here in the plenary at 10:30, 4:30 South African time. That's all from me.